Who was the best listener in your life? Not the person who always had the right answer, the person who listened. If you're like most people, you already know their name. I'm Andy Phillips, and this is The Journey Inside, a place where we slow things down and travel down paths inside our hearts and minds. Over the years, I've had parents of former students come back and tell me they remembered a conversation I'd completely forgotten, not because I gave great advice, but because I listened. As a former teacher and principal, I've spent years listening to folks talk about the educators who changed their lives, and I love those stories. The teacher who inspired them, challenged them, believed in them when they didn't believe in themselves. And over time, I've noticed something. When people talk about those teachers, they rarely start with what was taught. They talk about how that teacher made them feel. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized maybe that best listener, a teacher, a parent, a grandparent, a friend, a sibling, wasn't necessarily the smartest person or the person with all the answers. Maybe it was simply someone who listened long enough to hear us. Because being heard changes what we believe about ourselves. And many of us can trace important moments in our lives to someone who gave us that gift. That idea sits at the heart of In Jake's Shoes. In the story, 11-year-old Jake writes letters to his dead grandmother, Gammy Gatt. During a difficult year in his life, he believes she may be the only person who will listen. I'd like to share a brief excerpt, Jake's first letter to Gammy Gatt, from the newly released audiobook edition of In Jake's Shoes.
The Letters, Part 1. Attic. Sunday, December 24, 1995. Dear Gammy Gatt, I need to talk to somebody. It's got to be somebody who will listen to every word and won't tell me not to say what I want to say or not to feel what I'm feeling. So I decided to write you a letter. Because you're in heaven, I'm hoping God gives grandparents special superpowers so you can hear the words your grandkids might write to you. By the way, it's me, Jake, your grandson, and it's Christmas Eve. I have a bunch to tell you. A lot of stuff has happened since you died. I miss you a lot. Guess it's the first thing I want to say.
Years later, those letters become one of the ways Marshall begins to understand the son he thought he already knew. Jake wasn't looking for answers. He was looking for someone who would listen. Maybe that's why we remember certain people long after the details have faded, not because they had all the answers, but because they made us feel heard. Here's another question worth asking. Who in your life needs that gift right now? Thank you for listening. I'm Andy Phillips, and this has been The Journey Inside. Until next time, take care and remember.
Books are an adventure. You can journey anywhere. Just reach out and turn the pages. Begin to read.